All right. What's up, everyone? My name is AJ Wrights Crypto. Welcome to the show. It's Wednesday, March 12th, already forever 3 minutes late. I think forever. If I ever tell you, oh, I'll be there at noon, 12:03, you'll see the truck roll up. All good. All good. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate each and every. I didn't pop it out here on my laptop yet. Pop out the chat. All right. Shout out to Brandon McLean. Put God first. That's a great name. I like that. I am a Grogger, Doom, Juice Master, D Crypto, everybody in the house. Oleg, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. Oleg said the Canada Foreign Minister Jolly just said we'll coordinate with European allies with tariffs to pressure the U.S. Buckle up. The tariff thing, man, has affected. I mean, let's kind of look at, what has happened. Like the reflection of the tariff pressure on the S&P. All right. So basically, if people think, oh no, these goods are going to cost more, the tariffs are going to cause the prices to go up, that has a direct effect on the stock market, which we've seen the stock market, we've seen the S&P, kind of fall from grace here. And that has a direct correlation on crypto. There is a saving grace. I feel that the overall plan of the tariff will take time. And of course, there's the, oh, I did it. No, you did it. Well, I did it. No, you did it. And that back and forth between countries has already been kind of like, oh, shit, kind of stuff's kind of hitting the fan. But it is one of those deals where I think the plan will work out, but the immediate has been what has hurt us so much. Because generally, our news is good. Yeah, crypto news is bullish as it's ever been, but it's kind of the tariffs are the dagger in the heart right now, and I think it's going to take time, and like I said, Q3 Q4 2025. I've been saying that since the hit network price prediction, so I'm gonna stick to my guns. Nell Santiago, hey AJ, why did you change from Femex? Well, I had a 1-year contract with them. My contract was up. My good friend George from Cryptos R Us put me in contact with the people at Bitunix. I was considering signing again with Femex. I'll just be completely honest about it. But it was hard to be with Femex because the window, they got hit with MiCA regulations. And the MiCA regulations made it so you have to KYC unless your account was grandfathered in before that window. So it would be hard to get new American signups. And as a crypto influencer, exchanges are a massive piece of your monthly puzzle, big time. So I couldn't. My month, like what I would generate monthly, was getting hurt because I couldn't get new people from America to sign up on the exchange. And then I had a conversation with Bitunix because George from Cryptos R Us gave me the contact. We talked on the phone for an hour and a half. And they outbid. I had a couple other exchanges trying to sign me as well. They outbid everyone. They wanted me exclusive, so I signed a 1-year deal with them, and I'm glad I did it because no VPN, no KYC. Anyone from America can click my link down below and be trading in a matter of minutes with a heavy order book. I like Bitunix a lot as a leverage trader because I have a lot more options. I can do larger trades with more altcoins because that order book is so heavy. So it was a big win for the channel. It was a big win for the channel. And my first month with Bitunix, I knocked the volume out of the park. Like I didn't think I would pull off what I did, but I think the reason I did so well in my first month with my volume with them was because no VPN, no KYC. With top shelf liquidity. I mean, the traders know what that means. The traders say, oh, you mean there's no headache here? Yeah, here I go. Click the link in the description. It's the one at the top. So, yeah, man. I have nothing to hide. And, no, nothing against Femex, man. The people at Femex, they treated me good. They were nice people. Kai and Sergio and everybody. I mean, really good people. But, and they, I had a conversation with them when I left. And they're optimistic about Trump's White House because they think those regulations could get pulled back and their window could open back up and they could get new American signups. And I hope they do, for the sake of my friendship with them, they are good people. It's not like anything bad happened. It was just a matter of it's business. This is a business, and I think it's important to remind people, like, yeah, like, you gotta go with what makes sense, especially now. I feel like 2024 was a really big year for me to, kind of focus on myself and, kind of make selfish decisions, like, for the business, for AJ Writes Crypto. I think that it's important to separate AJ and AJ Writes Crypto, because I wouldn't, hurt a fly kind of thing. But at the same time, you do have to make business decisions. And I have kind of learned that difference. I mean, 2024 was my best year ever. I publicly became a millionaire in 2024. And we're going to see where that goes. I can't wait to say multi. I can't wait to go from 7 figures to 8, maybe 8 figures to 9. You know what I mean? I think it's going to happen one day at a time. And I'm going to put my best foot forward, So I do appreciate everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, all of the things. Before we get into the stories, before we get into the charts and everything, I got to give a shout out to my homie in the house.
Yo.
Hey, James, what's up? What's up, brother?
Yo, I'm pulling something out of your playbook. I forgot to turn my light on.
Oh, dude, my lights aren't even on. Let's take a minute. Everybody, you all go smash the like button. Have a nice sip of your coffee. I know you're under-caffeinated. You know why I know? I'm under-caffeinated. So hold on a minute here.
Let's go, everybody. Smash like button, drink coffee, turn on your lights, do what you got to do. What is up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Man, I tell you what. Crypto, am I right?
Oh, dude. Crazy.
There you go. Now everything looks.
I feel better.
Yeah.
I feel better.
There we go.
I need another light for underneath because it's kind of hard to see the spinning coin.
Oh, I
I
see.
think that coin has spun for every second I've spoken on YouTube since this channel started. Yeah, I like, people in my family are like, dude, let me get one of those spinning coins. Let me get a spinning coin. And I think it's certainly one of those deals where I think I need to do another spinning coin giveaway.
There you go.
I really need to do another spinning coin giveaway. It's been a while. It's time. It's going to happen. Let me very quickly. I do have a new interview. Let me go to not interview, giveaway. Nice. I mean, this is a pretty solid one. Speaking of Bitunix, speaking of everything here, it is at the top, pinned to the top of my page on Twitter. Let me head over to that. All right, so right here.
There you go.
Bitunix giveaway. To enter to the giveaway, you got to follow, like, retweet, and sign up for Bitunix. If you already have a Bitunix UID number made with my link, you're already good. It's not just for new signups. If you already have signed up with my link, you're already there. You just have to like and retweet the tweet from there. 5 people are winning $100 in crypto.
Dang.
3 winners get 6 months in my Telegram. And 1 winner gets a year in the Telegram, the new Grogger shirt, and $250 in crypto. If you're already in the Telegram, it will just add on to your current subscription. So
that's awesome.
No problems with that. So guys, head over to X, pinned to the top. Giving away about $750, some Telegram memberships, some t-shirts, stuff like that. And big shout out to Bitunix, big sponsor of this channel. We do appreciate it. Somebody asked in the chat, why is a KYC?
What's so bad about KYC on exchanges?
What's so bad about KYC of exchanges? It's not that.
It has nothing to do with you as a trader, just so you guys know. It has to do with the requirements that the platform has and the restraints that they've got based on jurisdictions and regulations in certain environments and locations. So it has nothing to do with you guys. It's the rules that they at the exchange level have to follow.
Exactly.
They have to know their customer. It's not, you don't have to know it's not know the platform. It's know your customer. That's what KYC means.
Exactly. And the problem, I think that it's not so much doing KYC. Like if you have a Coinbase, you're KYC'd. If you have a crypto.com, you're KYC'd. It's not so much trying to avoid it. It's just that for some exchanges, the KYC process prevents Americans from signing up. That's why. You know what I mean? Like with VMEX, now that the door has closed, unless you get a Powell ID, you can't sign up for VMEX as an American. And that that kind of really shuts the door on a lot of people. So I think, with everything how Bitunix is right now, it's really easy for people to sign up. So that answers that question. So I do want to jump into the show, but before I do, we have to do our daily ape check, dude. I think this is becoming a part of the show with you and I together, where we just look at the apes near the floor and appreciate. Oh man, look at this one. I hate the yellow hat. Yeah, I hate the yellow hat,
dude. I love the Cuba shirt with the cigarillo.
Ooh, if he had no hat, that might be the one.
Yeah,
that might be the one. And then I gotta show you one more that. Oh no, I lost it. Bored Ape Yacht Club. There was one more that's kind of near the floor right now that is really cool. There was an Evo Knievel one that already sold.
I'm still
this one. This one's new to the floor group.
Oh, nice with the 3D glasses. Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Pretty wild.
The one that was next to it, I'm in love with the stained up tank and the sunglasses with the beanie.
The only I'm not a fan of the earring.
The earring is what kind of sucks on it for sure.
Yeah, that one's sweet. All right, we did it. That's our daily our ape check. All right. So yesterday after the show, I listened to a lot of the meeting talking about the stablecoin regulations and everything like that. It's really obvious. Like, every time a Democrat took the stand, do you know what words they're going to say? Terrorism, money laundering,
all the stuff that they're doing.
Yeah, they just say all those key words. They like find a way to construct a sentence that has every single
just hit the buzzwords and all that SEO so that those clips can go viral.
Exactly. And then it's just like, man. And then of course every Republican's like, the remittance is like basically impossible. It's so hard to like send money in America. Stablecoin solves so many problems. It's important to not have a CBDC. They kind of hit all like the good crypto, bullish talking points. All right. And to be fair, we do got some positive news that came out of it. The U.S. House of Representatives has voted to overturn a rule that would have required DeFi protocols to report to the IRS on March 11th, which was yesterday. The House voted 292 in favor and against 132 against repealing the so-called IRS DeFi broker rule, which was intended to extend existing IRS reporting requirements to cryptos. The 132 votes in favor of keeping the rule came from Democrats, but 76 members of the party joined Republicans repealing it. So this was passed bipartisan. 76 Dems voted for crypto.
That's good news.
And this follows a U.S. Senate vote on March 4th, where the motion was passed 70-27. The rule would have forced DeFi platforms, such as decentralized exchanges, to disclose gross revenue from cryptocurrency sales. So,
which goes against the absolute ethos of what a decentralized exchange is. Now, we know that these entities they've got teams, founders, all that kind of stuff, right? So there are people that you can point to, but it really goes against the whole ethos of all of it.
Yeah, 100%. And hey, I just saw this story here. I didn't even see that. Kraken plans to go public. This is from 2 days ago. I missed this one. They're contemplating an IPO early 26. Bloomberg. Wow, good for them. I think it's important that other big name exchanges have that ticker in the stock market. I mean, if you watch the coin chart, that's been really interesting, and it is a way to like kind of have indirect crypto exposure without directly holding the success of crypto.
It's really
the success of coin.
So really interesting. So let's think about like as we start to shift into this new financial ecosystem model, right? And we go to 24-hour stocks, which I think we're starting to see now. Let's get to our place where, all right, so a company wants to go public. We'll use the air quotes. Instead of issuing stocks, they issue tokens, right? It's a tokenized model. So like, do you think the appeal to have stock issue will go away at some point when we shift over to a more formalized tokenization model?
Well, I think that there will always be a big demand for, people that have been in the stock market forever. And you have to understand that, like, yeah, we're the crypto bros where it's really common, and we are in this industry, and we generally don't hold stocks.
Right.
But there are also like, the people that have just done stocks forever that look at crypto like, I'm not sure, it's too volatile. They listen to Elizabeth Warren. There's a reason the stock market cap is massive.
Right. Well, it's been around for obviously, exponentially longer than crypto.
Established. And I think that, the bridges between DeFi and TradFi, and I feel like we'll all get on the same highway eventually. Yeah, I think it's a matter of adoption. It's a matter of correct regulation, and it's a matter of sentiment.
Yeah.
Right? Speaking of sentiment, U.S. inflation falls to 2.8, lower than expectations. And I was actually surprised that CPI came in so good for crypto. I was kind of expecting inflation to come in as expected or higher than expected because of the tariffs, but apparently not. And obviously, I'm not going to get into the discrepancy between actual inflation and how CPI is measured. I wrote a whole script about that a couple of years ago, and there's a lot to it, and it's kind of a headache, but let's just accept that this CPI is the barometer for inflation, period. Let's leave it there. All right. And so U.S. inflation rose 2.8% in February, lower than expected 2.9, with core CPI at 3.1 instead of 3.2. Stock futures jumped after the report, with the S&P futures up 1.1%, while Treasury yield and the dollar also increased. The Federal Reserve faces pressure to cut interest rates, with market now expecting at least 2 cuts and an 85% chance of a third.
Whew.
Now we're talking.
Let's go.
Because when we finally got the cuts, I mean, you gotta remember 2024. We were supposed to get slashing. It was the year of turn the money printer back on. Come on, daddy, govern me harder. That's what was supposed to happen. And we didn't get that. We had a lot of pausing, a lot of nothing burgers, just kind of nothing. And then we finally had the Fed pivot. And then it was kind of we got a couple, and then we pressed pause again. And that kind of put the brakes on, you know what I mean? So the fact, and that's all kind of reliant on this data. Like, I think they will cut interest if they can. Like, I don't think they want to be hawkish. They want to be dovish, but it's kind of one of those deals where, like, if the CPI is not where you want it to be, like, we can't cut interest rates if the CPI is this bad. Like, the overall goal is to kind of curb inflation. So the fact we got a positive CPI reading that kind of gives the Fed a reason to cut interest rates, and an 85% chance of a third. That's kind of what we want to be hearing. I'm here for it. You're not going to go into the whole article, but overall, this is a good day. And then you're starting to see articles. This is my favorite article of the day. Bitcoin jumps to 82K, but they actually just changed it, because in the coinpedia.org news /Bitcoin surges to 82K. And I was like, surges?
Hey, you got to use those superlatives, man.
Surges to 80, but now they changed it to jump.
Massive.
Someone there heard me think my thoughts, and they were like, okay, let's change it. Bitcoin rebounded. We will look at the Bitcoin chart after a drop to 78, triggering a minor rally in other cryptos. And guys, literally yesterday and the day before, we were saying, if you're not buying at these levels, I don't know what to tell you. Everything is dirt cheap. Is this just going to be another lower low, and then we come up and get rejected at a lower high? We could.
Are we bull trapping?
We could. That's not off the table, but we were very aware of the bounce, and at least the Telegram group was very aware of the bounce. I posted a lot of setups yesterday and the day before, and I believe the day before that we've been eating in the Telegram group. So
I popped into a Twitter space last night, and CryptoFace was on there, Flopping Groper was on there. There was a couple people, doing some trading, like kind of setup talks and ideas and all stuff. And it was like bulls versus bears, right? And there were a lot of really bearish cases being made of where we're at and where we're headed, kind of in the short term. But again, even these people that had really bearish short-term outlooks, you go long term, you zoom out, no, it's completely opposite of that.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people are torn. Like,
it's like PTSD. We have PTSD.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, they're just so used to getting their teeth kicked in. that they're like, this feels familiar.
Yeah, I've been here before.
I know this. And like, honestly, I'm gonna stand on the fence of like, I don't know if like overall when you look at like, let's look at a chart like, I don't know, like FET, right? Like just a random altcoin. This is just the first chart I clicked on. All right. And of course, we're putting in lower highs, and we kind of broke down from these higher lows. All right. And now we're kind of, if you were to extend these previous support resistant levels from back here, we are kind of, in the previous range of levels. And actually, if you look, this level line I just drew across from big support resistance back here, that is literally the place where FET bounced from.
It's crazy. There's actually a lot of coins that are at their same prices as they were a year ago, which is we erased an entire year of activity.
But the thing is that now we know what are the hot levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you kind of look at, okay, well, anytime, so basically if this is the level we're under right now, in the history of this coin, anytime you buy under this level, you win. You win. So don't think of it as like, I think people really struggle pulling the trigger. One, because if they have dry powder left, it might not be much. And two, everyone wants to make that perfect optimal trade. You're never going to nail the bottom. You're never going to buy the exact bottom. But as long as you look at things like in a range, like, okay, like, as long as I'm buying in this range and selling in this range, kind of the money is invariably made in the middle. And let's not lose sight of that. And we are across the board at good levels to buy altcoins, period.
Mm-hmm.
Even, here on FET, I mean, yeah, this one got demolished, for sure got demolished. I mean, this last, the December high was, 218. It's down 79% in 95 days. But hey, we do kind of have that bull div forming. The point of control is all the way up here at $1.30 something. We are like kind of putting in those hammer candles, 176% back to the point of control. You're really going to tell me that, and it's not like we haven't popped up and have come back down to these levels multiple times in the life of this coin. This is a really good example of an altcoin that got punished, that is likely going to have another day in the sun. It's only a matter of when. And I'm going to be watching, these 2-hour charts to kind of see, all right, well, we kind of came down heavy. We're kind of starting to form, the curvature that we're looking for. And once we kind of first put in that first higher low and kind of start, the next wave, even if it eventually becomes a higher low, the hell was that? The traders are definitely going to eat with this one. So certainly this is one to keep on your radar. I think for sure. Where was
I wonder if there's any news as far as the updates with the whole super alliance and how, because if you go to CoinMarketCap, right, it's still artificial super alliance, but it's still FET is the ticker on it, right? Like they have an ASI was supposed to be the new ticker, right?
I feel that they certainly
but on to brakes.
Yeah, I don't think they did a good job with the merge, and there was a lot of news about it, and it's getting pushed back. I think that's a specific, I just know that FET, once it converts to ASI, it's a 1-to-1 ratio.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel that kind of blanket AI exposure in crypto. I don't feel that it's over for them at all. I feel like they dropped the ball, but I don't think it's over. That's just kind of the first chart I clicked on, kind of pointing out like, yeah, this thing got demolished, but in the grand scheme of where the levels you should be buying and the levels you should be selling, we're back in the levels where you should be buying, regardless of if you nail the bottom or not. You're in the correct range. And that, I think kind of thinking more in the middle is more important than trying to perfectly buy the bottom. Because if you are trying to perfectly buy the bottom, you are not going to make money in crypto. You're just going to get destroyed. So, I have 0 dry powder left, says Crypto Carter. GM2, my homie Crypto Carter. I had so people are kind of a little worried right now about the ETF situation. And the XRP ETF and the Doge Solana Litecoin have all been delayed. The XRP ETF has been delayed. That goes with Litecoin, Doge Solana, and XRP, all delayed. Bloomberg ETF analyst James Seyffart, what a last name, man, Seyffart. This is standard procedure. They say it's standard procedure to just make us wait. And I believe Cardano has as well. I believe that this is across the board. This affected these ETFs and filings published March 11th, which was yesterday. The SEC has issued a notice of designation of a longer period to determine the outcome of the proposed rule changes.
So that means they extend the 240-day period. Is that what they're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
So the ETFs are those filed by NASDAQ's Litecoin and Chicago Board of Option Exchange XRP ETFs. Following the news, James, our guy, the ETF analyst, said it's expected. This is standard procedure, adding that Paul Atkins, the new chair of the SEC, hasn't even been confirmed yet.
That makes sense.
Kind of feels like, hey, like, guys, we're kind of getting the team together here. We're not really at a place to make major decisions, considering our new chair, isn't even, really there yet. This doesn't change our relatively high odds of approval. I think that's the most important sentence in this entire article. Also note that the final deadlines aren't until October.
Right. What does that line up with?
Money.
Huh.
October.
What the
fuck's in October?
I don't know. Probably like the bull run or something.
It's as if Q3 and Q4, once again, Romeo and Juliet, the stars are aligning. The star-crossed lovers between bull runs and the end of this year. And we are going to suffer this year. The market is going to continue to kick your teeth in and make you think you're wrong until we're going to get through the summer, and then we're going to make a lot of money. Dude.
Hell yeah. I think this is honestly like pausing the ETF thing, and this to me is bullish, right? And especially when you kind of go in more granularly with this and realize, okay, like we just want to get the team together. We kind of want to come together with a strategy, because once that happens, they're fast tracking everything, right? Like just give them a second to put everything together, which is great, because then they'll make the right decisions. You get like one try to do things correctly, right? We've heard, we know of projects that we just talked about it, projects that maybe didn't do the thing that they needed to do correctly. So let all of this happen, because when it does, man, it will open the door. Because not only, again, it's not HBAR, it's not just XRP, it's Avalanche, it's Aptos, it's all these other obscure coins that we've been hearing about.
Obscure?
Well, you get what I mean? Because I say obscure because it's not Bitcoin and it's not Ethereum. People are just like, those are shit coins. Like, no. Like, this opens up, like we've been saying, the door to the absolute index fund, which opens the door to immense money in our ecosystem.
For sure. I'm right there with you, man. And I want to finish glossing over this article, because there's a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah.
The two analysts believe that the Litecoin ETF has a 90% chance of approval in 2025. 90%. Wow. Where can we go on PolyMarket and bet on that? Because I will put some money on that for sure. In recent months, the number of crypto ETF applications have risen as investor interest continues. I know someone in the chat talking about Hedera. Yesterday, investment company Van Eck registered an Avalanche ETF in the U.S. despite declining market prices for the altcoin. In addition to the Litecoin ETF, NASDAQ filed for a Hedera ETF at the end of February. Earlier this month, NYSE ARCA filled a 19B form for the Bitwise Dogecoin ETF. Obviously, this has everything to do with Donald Trump having a pro-crypto stance. Since entering the White House, he has made several changes. Obviously, we talked about the summit and everything like that. Obviously, Gary Gensler's out of here, so we're going to have like a new SEC that's probably going to lean, more dovish for the crypto bulls. And this is certainly the time. Mm-hmm. This is the time. I do kind of want to just gloss over, yesterday, Kraken strengthening UK regulatory standing with FCA electric money license, bullish. Thailand SEC approved USDT and USDC regulated for crypto trading, bullish. crypto to re-enter India after nearly 2 years.
Bullish.
U.S. lawmakers reintroduce the Genius Act to establish regulatory framework.
Bullish.
So you kind of get the point. You kind of get the overall story we're building here, right? Is that the macro is aligning. The stars are aligning. We are going to struggle this year until we round those bottoms off, start putting in higher lows, and start putting in all-time highs. I feel that if you guys did not watch the deal yesterday with the over the stable coins and everything, I could try to find the link for you or someone on one of the mods. If you go to YouTube and find the digital asset meeting they had yesterday, I know Altcoin Daily covered some of the highlights in it on their video yesterday. Really good watch, and to kind of get a feel for where the politicians are standing. It's obviously I kind of started off the show by kind of highlighting this, but it is really good to see so many people speak our language and to understand why this is so important, and the fact that it's bipartisan. It's hard to think that this is not going to absolutely explode. And last tab I had pulled for you guys, Franklin Templeton becomes the largest asset manager to file for a Solana ETF, and I'm here for it. And I think that this is going to be commonplace. We need to get all of the individual major altcoins to get ETFs, so then we can get
our index fund.
Stock market traders love indexes. Oh, they just love them. Oh. And once we could have crypto baskets, man, that's a big missing piece of liquidity, and we're going to make
it rain. So to answer your question, AJ, there are several options on PolyMarket about the ETFs, and most of them are most of the ETF questions are, will it happen by July 31st? Or in 2025, right? And in all the ones that say, will it happen by July 31st, are like really, really low. And by the end of the year are much, much higher, right? For example, Solana by July 31st has a 25% chance of passing, whereas by the end of 2025, it's 88%, right? So much, bigger spreads here.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. How much money is on that betting pool?
So for the Solana one, so it is 100K for by the end of the year, and 240,000 by the July 31st one. The Doge ETF approved by July 31st has the most amount bet on it with 441,000.
Yeah, the thing is like you probably can't make a $10,000 bet, $20,000 bet without changing the odds.
Oh, probably you're right.
Yeah, it's not like you could really do a heavy amount of money. I know about doing some big bets on PolyMarket, and you got to make sure that there's a lot of money in the pool in the middle. I had someone in the chat, Crypto Carter, would y'all consider it an inverse head and shoulders on the Bitcoin 4-hour? I'm looking at it on the 2-hour, and I guess you could interpret that. It's a kind of a very small head and shoulders. If it turns around here, it would be kind of crooked if Bitcoin lost this low at 79.84. Oops, let me get that back and get rid of this. All right. So yeah, as long as it kind of starts to turn around now and kind of gets this type of curvature right here, yeah, you could interpret that as an inverse head and shoulders. I don't have a problem with that. But where would it take us is the question. Well, first of all, where's my volume profile? Hello?
Yeah, where's that at?
Yeah, we need that. So we would go boom, 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 measured move, pull it up. That would take us to support resistance, like measured moves just about always do. When we're talking 91.3, which would be these two wicks right here where we were rejected. And then so the neckline level, I would say, is about 83,857. It'd be a 9% move to the measured move from the neckline, and measured move from the current price would be 12.7%. I don't hate that interpretation. It's kind of it's not like I think obviously head and shoulders are more powerful when you're looking at a larger time frame, and it like in the event it was something like this, where there's a lot more time
clearly defined,
to form the formation. The more time involved in any pattern, the more powerful it is. but keep in mind that this is kind of formed, since, the past 3 days, so it's not like, the biggest deal in the world, but I like where your head's at. And that is certainly a local this, I clicked a random Bitcoin chart that didn't have any markings on it, and it's not pulling the volume profile because it's kind of like obscure. And also, guys, I do just kind of want to highlight, like, Bitcoin does have a little bit of work to do to get out of, the kind of situations. I mean, we could, kind of parallel downtrend. I don't know if you could really call that a flag, considering what happened before it, like this kind of dip before it. But overall,
that's a broken flagpole is what that is.
Yeah. And I'm also kind of thinking back, like, well, where were we before we really woke up, right? And that was, back here, back when the all-time highs were, 73,000. All right. And then, we kind of did that in March, and then we got rejected from there again. And then, of course, in November, we broke through into the new stratosphere. All right. And so I do find it very important that Bitcoin holds this. I would be really bummed if Bitcoin lost this 73.67 level. Obviously, I think Bitcoin can find a way to break out. No one has a crystal ball. We can react to the market, but no one can see the future. No matter how many influencers tell you that they can't. And this most recent 2 hour, what I will say is that, we had this big wick up, and that wick had everything to do with the news this morning. Bitcoin has kind of plummeted down in the past, hour. I mean, we're talking a 4% down for Bitcoin. That's a pretty big move down for Bitcoin. And the reason that matters is on the 2 hour is that we kind of got to the 50 EMA on the 2 hour and just got a heavy rejection. So I think a handful of the gains, we kind of got last night. I know Ando went through some alarms last night. I'll just go ahead and show you guys the chart that I gave the group for Ando specifically. And, we were kind of talking about, this kind of tightening this range with 83.9, or even if you just went long from right here when we got above the 50 EMA and got the alarm at 80 cents. Also, I want to point out with Ando that, we kind of had this little uptrend going here that just got disrespected.
Oof.
Just got disrespected. Come on, let me use the brush right here. That's kind of a bummer when you finally see a little, that start to form. But let's see if it still can put in a higher low. I would say if this 80.06 alarm goes off, that would be a short for me if in the event that alarm goes off. Or really, you could have shorted from the loss of 86. That was an alarm we had. So the loss of 86, you'd be up about 5% an hour. But the long that we caught from the break of 80, that was the kind of the bigger move. 10.8% in 19 hours. So big shout out to anyone in the group who caught that one. I've had my eyes glued to the Ando chart here lately. I really think that this is one I don't want to miss out on. Obviously we do have a very large parallel downtrend here, and it is kind of getting back, as we kind of talked about this the other day, that this range, we are back in this range.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I think, I kind of make the analogy of Algorand, right? When I said, if Algorand breaks 16 cents, that is like kind of the rocket ship level for Algorand. And I can talk about, I want to pull the algo chart in the show, but I would say, this big rejection here, and then how there was a big fight for this level. I know we're zoomed out, but I'll show you. For the record, we're talking about the price action back November 24 for the 87-cent level on Ando. That was the previous high, as mentioned, right? And then look, we went clear, loss, clear, loss, clear, loss, clear. Big volume spike, big volume fight for that level. And this is the perfect example of when I tell you guys, I don't really care about the range. I care about the break. All right. And so this range right here was a 14% range that Ando spent about 6 days in. Took Ando almost a week inside this 14% range to break out and up. All right. And I would say that this level, the 87-cent level, is the 16-cent level for Algorand. And what's interesting is that our price action now is right here. We are back inside of this box. All right. So I would say to keep a very close eye on this alarm. All right. And it does have it's not as much. Well, it actually really is a local alarm too, because a lot of times support resistance alarms, like previous support resistance alarms, like don't always align with local support resistance. But in this case, dude, we had this flat out retest of it right here, and then this flat out rejection of it right here. So yeah, I'm telling you, yeah, this alarm, so this one here is for 86.4. That's local. This previous alarm, I will add in 8725, 0.8725. I'm going to change the color of that alarm. Get rid of these. Boom. I'm going to make you blue. Okay. All right. That is kind of the historical alarm that we want to see go off. And if we can get above the 50 EMA and clear that 87 alarm, I would say that is the rocket fuel alarm.
That's our long target, right?
That is
bust that 50.
Where that alarm goes off, we go long.
Let's go.
That alarm goes off, we go long. So, Chains, I know you went to the Ando Summit. You know, we call you the Block Father sometimes. Kind of give me an overview on where you are with Ando right now, and you kind of why it's. I know it's a big pick for you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Shine some light on that.
Yeah, so the whole idea of where Ando's going, and you know the who they're doing it with, where they're going, all that stuff. Again, BlackRock, and people say like, oh, you're with the enemy, and just understand that BlackRock is going to play a big role in this whole shift of the whole financial ecosystem moving forward. And so it's a hedge bet, but I think it's a smart one, and especially we talk about the Boston Consultant Group, the 16 to 30 trillion. So what I'm doing with Ando right now is I'm in a holding pattern, right? I've got my spot bag. I would continue though personally because I am 72 cents. I think 74 is probably like the highest that I was in. So I don't really want to like increase my, entry price too much, but we are right around the zone where this is accumulation time. This is a gift to you. Anything below $1 for Ando is a gift. So you should buy as much as you can because of where this thing is headed. This is going to be within, I know some people don't believe that this year it'll be a $100 billion project. That's a $31 price tag. That's a little high. I've scaled back. I think $15 is very reasonable for this bull run with Ando, especially with all they're trying to accomplish and what they're doing. So that being said, this is just if you got dry powder, buy some. If you're just a spot holder, just keep holding. If you're a trader, look at that. I'm going to look at that level when I get home today and start, mapping that, what we talked about today. Because I mean, that to me, the trigger zone, when we get that thing coiled up and that thing pounces, man, get ready because it's going to go. It's going to
go.
A powder keg.
Yep. I'm ready for it. And I have been quietly buying some Ando myself. I bought some at like 79. I think about like 10 grand.
So I think I'm a little conflicted on what the community name of the Ando people are, whether it's Ondovians or the Ondonauts or something. I think we've got to start like a new, because like here we talked about Cardano, right? Like it's very, very key that you be the ADA gang versus the Cardano community. That's just my opinion. So we need a very strong Ando community name.
I'm going to brainstorm this because, the Buccaneers could have been awesome, but the NEAR community doesn't exist. So
NEAR doesn't have a community called the Buccaneers?
That would be the Buccaneer. I know. I thought of this myself.
Wow.
We should have done this. Okay. But what I will say is that let me brainstorm the Ando. I might be able to make the perfect community. Someone said in the chat, it's Ando Mondopia. That's terrible.
Yeah. The Ondolorians.
The Ando Civics. That's okay. Nando's my boy. Shout out to my homie Nando in the chat. I love that. Do you see POL going back to $1? I don't care. If it does, I'm not going to be holding it when it does.
I'm out.
The Ando Manix. Now I'm going to have to brainstorm this.
Yeah, it's going to have to be good.
Yeah, shout out to everybody joining in the chat here. Let's do a quick little room reset. All right, we got about 180 people watching on YouTube and about 700 watching on Twitter. Hey, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much for being here. You came here this morning to make a decision. I want to learn about crypto. I want to make money trading. This is what I'll tell you. First of all, smash the like button. We're under 100 likes, so let's get there. I'd appreciate that. But what I will say is that this is the time. We are in the buy range for a lot of coins. It's not about optimal. It's not about perfectly buying the bottom. The money's made in the middle. And I'm going to go through a handful of charts here, and I'm going to illustrate to you why right now you should be considering starting to deploy some of the dry powder. Even if we fall more from here, when you consider where we are now, even if we got back just to the 2024 high, or even if we just got back to the top of the current downtrend, a lot of coins are still, 100, 200, 150 some percent moves that are really looking like optimal. And I think that Ando right now is certainly one that I'm targeting to buy as much as I can in the low 80, 70 cent range. What's dry powder is money on the side. So you think like, if you have $100,000 in your Coinbase and 80,000 of it's crypto and 20,000 of it's Tether, that 20,000 of Tether is your dry powder, because you always want to have some. You don't ever want to have all your money in the middle, unless we're like clicking. If in times like this, it's really important to the profits you took in December. This is when you're kind of deploying. I'm sitting on like maybe 800 grand from things I sold in December, and looking to kind of cycle almost all of that back in as we kind of start to round this bottom kind of from now into the summer. I want to be really careful, but I'm going to make sure that, we're kind of in, even if I get in a little later, I'm okay with that. But I'm starting to, I already, like I said, I bought privately, I bought 10,000 in Ando right around 79 or like just under 80 cents. It could have been higher up in the 70s, but it doesn't matter. Extra cash. S-Dog says, all I have is wet powder. All you got is mud, bro. All you got is mud. Dry powder is a myth we tell our children. I don't think so. I think dry powder is a very real thing, guys. I think, dry powder is real.
A lot of us just bought too many dips. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
We bought them all. We bought every single dip on the way down since December.
Buy the dip. Buy the dip. What a great song. All right. I wanted to pull the algo chart. That is kind of for me, to be honest. Is it raining? What is that? No, it's not.
I think they're cleaning out there because they got like everything.
Yeah, I can hear like some sound. I'm like, what the hell is that? Let me try to find an Algorand chart that's not like completely obliterated with levels. Because that's what I always go through like the charts and I just destroy them every time. Let me go to the day. This one's not too destroyed. We got some circles and a fib. So let's start with that. All right. So overview for Algorand at the moment. First of all, shout out to the Algo fam, Algo Nation. I would like to consider myself a community leader in the Algorand community because they're awesome. They are the kind of the best to ever do it, in my opinion. And what I'm going to say here is it all started, my story with Algorand, when this channel started, not my entire Algorand arc, but with this channel specifically, this dip right there, that was the thing that made this, the trading reputation specifically of my new channel so successful. And that is the 16 cent level on Algorand. It's actually 15.6. So I always said, if we get to 16, we're going. All right. And let's just kind of look at this setup. All right. The curvature. Do you see that? You see when I get rid of the yellow, how perfect that curvature is? That is where money is made. All right. And we kind of had this little double bottom down here around 8 cents. All right. And then we started to put in higher lows. All right. And from there, we kind of went on this insane uptrend. All right.
Would you consider that a cup and handle?
You could. It's kind of crooked because like you kind of want it. You could draw it from here. You know what I mean? Or you could draw it from here. Either way, you just got to go from the middle. And I would consider that a cup and handle, but this formation didn't work out as well as it could have.
Oh, yeah, it didn't go.
If you kind of look at that, but then you kind of go back and look and say, oh, okay, it went past that measured move when it pumped, but it just didn't do it on this pump.
Got you.
From the break of the neckline, we still got a pretty decent move. Yeah, 31% in 2 weeks. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, 31% is still a lot for me as a trader. I think people are like, oh, it's not 500%. I'm like, dude, 30% is a lot. If you're trading all the time, 30% is a big move. Anyway, but you know, this whole move was kind of all about, we went to past 16 cents, we pumped 60%, and then what happened? We came back to 16 cents. All right. And then from here, 100% in 48 days. And then what did we do? So the deal with Algorand has been 16 cents, and sometimes the range underneath 16 cents. And then we have the pump, and then we give it all back. And then we have the pump, and then we give it all back. All right. So when as 2024 continued, and we went back under 16 cents, and then 16 cents became the point where we were getting rejected. Y'all don't even understand how much Algorand I bought down here in October, in September, that 13, 12 cent Algorand. Because I have known this whole time. 16 cents is the level of all levels. All right. So, of course, Algorand has the run it had. It was a top 5 performer in the December pump. Top 5 performer. It pumped 290% from the 16 cent level in 20 days.
Get it. Let's get it.
In 20 days, Algorand pumped 290% from that 16 cent alone. Go back, watch this channel. I was jumping up and down from the rooftops telling you guys, buy Algorand at 16 cents. Did you listen? No. You didn't. You should have, but you didn't listen. I did that for Crypto Face. I hope. Shout out to my homie Crypto Face. But guys, what has been the MO here? Let's remember. What do? We hit 16 cents. We have our pump. We give it all back. We go to 16 cents. We have our pump. We give it all back. And look, we pumped 290% in 20 days. We had our pump. And guess what? We gave it all back. This is the Algorand way. All right? Not that that's a bad thing. I love the volatility. If you know what to do with the volatility, it will make you rich. I promise. All right? So the thing is that daily chart, you know, we are impending the death cross. We're very close to the death cross. What I will say is the oscillator doesn't look half bad, considering that it does have a little bit of curvature this way, and the RSIs are starting to hook. All right. And I hope if we could print this green dot here and then turn back, we could see, you know, a bit of a local bottom. I'm really interested to see if 16 cents, if we're going to hold it or not. Because if we came down here and kissed 16 and started turning, and that was the local low, that would be a big sign of strength for Algorand. If it goes under 16 cents, okay, that's how you know that 16 to 11 cent, that is your massive accumulation range for Algorand. In the same breath, I have zero qualms about the Algorand I bought at 35 or the Algorand I bought at 25, or hell, even the Algorand I bought under like 39, I bought some Algorand. Because look, from there to local high, 56%, 39 cent Algorand. The 30 cent Algorand to local high, 100%. The 25 cent Algorand to local high, 149, 150%. From right now, our current price back to Algorand's local high, 224%. We've already have proven, guys, that Algorand can pump about 300% in the span of, 20 days. In 20 days from now, you could easily triple your money. Sounds good to me. But what I'm saying here is that if you're really telling me that for the rest of our time on planet Earth, in Algorand's lifestyle, in Algorand's life cycle, excuse me, that it's never going back to 60 cents ever again? Ever? You really don't think it's ever going back to 60 cents? I think it is. I know it is. In fact, that's going to just be the beginning. Just going to be the beginning. Why do I know that? Well, first of all, we know it's possible. We've seen it. We've seen that $2 algo. It's been there. All right. Another thing I want to say is that if we ignore Fibonacci right now, we are under the 786. So certainly good buy area. If you kind of just draw this like this, it is funny that if you drew this uptrend, I'll make it yellow so you can see a little bit better. It is pretty funny to me that if you drew this uptrend before any of this happened and just connected these 2 points, you see what I'm saying? It literally spit us out right here. So I think this uptrend, this angle is important for Algorand. And if you were to use this angle as like this is where my more conservative ideas have come from with Algorand, because this right here would be the very end of December, would be $1.03 if we just respected that uptrend. We hit it once, we made the trend itself, and then we kissed it. And that was kind of my cue at 60 cents. Like, yeah, that was probably the local top for now. And I did get out of Algorand. I would say probably 47, 48 cents it took me until I sold. But I will say that this angle is really important. And what did we say it was? So end of December.
Like $1.03.
Yeah, right here, like $1.01, $1.03. So if we go from where we are now to there, I mean, that's 420%. That's a 4x from right now, from these levels right now. And I think Algorand is more than capable. I mean, this would, I mean, my Algorand price prediction is higher than $1. I've said, 3, 4 in the past, and
For this year, this run.
Yeah, I have said it has gone bigger, but given what we've seen now, we kind of established this uptrend and then we kissed it. This is certainly, if anything above this, is bonus points. And December, we're talking $1, $1.03, which is over 415, 100, 420% to right from where we are in the prices right now. So I'd say if you're looking for a nice, safe way to 3 or 4x your money,
Algo.
just pay me an algo.
Yeah.
There we go. Over 200 people on YouTube here. You guys rock. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're coming in on the hour mark of the show. I do have to mention it. J-Chains.
Yeah.
You don't know what the Hellfire Club is. Can we talk about my t-shirt?
Yeah, I walked in and I saw the shirt. I was like, oh, cool shirt. Was that like a band or something? I did actually. What was it? And you immediately were like, almost said, get out.
Thought we were friends, bro.
I have never seen Stranger Things. I didn't know.
The best show to ever touch Netflix.
No.
Ever.
Sons of Anarchy is way better.
Sons of Anarchy was FX. A show created by
a Netflix original.
Yes.
Gotcha.
You could argue House of Cards. I'd accept that argument. Other than that, Stranger Things.
I'll do my research. I'm gonna come back tomorrow with a Netflix original series that is way better.
Okay. That's fine.
I don't watch I'm terrible with TV. I don't watch.
I understand. What I do is that like I'll binge watch like shows, but I don't watch television. Like the only football game I watched all year was the Super Bowl, and I was there. You know what I mean? Like
Facts.
I don't really do TV, but I'll binge watch a show for sure. Crypto Crusher said, "What's your take on the possible death cross on the Algo daily chart?" We did kind of touch on that when we did this analysis, and like to be fair, if we kind of compare this death cross, and I really think this is the only death cross you can compare, because the other one, the supply situation was so different. So the previous death cross, so we had our March 2024 high, all right, and from that high, we lost 41%, and it took 75 days to get that death cross. Where are we now? So we lost 55%, and it's been 100 days, and we still don't have that death cross. So this has been a March. It's taken a little bit longer, but the drop has been heavier. And to be fair, once we got this death cross, we lost 40%, and it took 165 days from that point. And to be fair, when we got that death cross, we were sitting. This is the difference between this death cross now and the old one, is that this death cross right now, the price action was fighting those exact levels, like where the EMA was. Look how close the price was to the EMA.
Yeah, right there.
I mean, it was on the EMA. It got the death cross right here, and it dropped after that point. All right. The difference this time is that
this thing's been on downhill. It's been downhill the whole time.
Look how far below we already are. So even if it's the same timeline, 100 days out, from bull, what was it again? From death cross to bull cross,
100.
It was 169, 170 days. 170. So let's say we get the death cross on March 17th. 170 days. Oh, that would be September.
Come on.
September.
What's that line?
Feels like
everything's lining up, man.
You get my point. So honestly, because this death cross is so different, because here the price was in there, and this time the price so far below. I mean, there's certainly a few pressure trade ideas going through my mind right now. Even we could get a death cross and bounce into it and pump 40% back to, even if we pump back to a quarter, that'd be 38%, and got rejected again. Because you got to think about, there is the longer downtrend here, but even if you kind of ignore that one and just kind of get these two local touches, which you obviously can do, it's a much sharper angle. And even if the next pump up becomes the next lower, say Algorand comes up and gets rejected and doesn't break this high, all right, it could literally come from where it is to here, pump 40%, and then get rejected again. You know what I mean? So these kind of really big shifts are on my radar, and I'm not going to miss these larger swings in price action. And I do even feel that, obviously the past 2-hour candle wasn't the best for anything, considering, we had CPI come in, we pumped up and then got rejected. But obviously wick low at 18.4, and then low at 17.4. The body low, the wick low is 17.4, the body low is 18.4. And so these are two alarms you certainly want to have on if you want to play the other side of the conditional range. I would say this wick right there, we kind of had the floor ceiling. That level is 20 cents exactly. That could be your long alarm, as long as it climbs above the 50 EMA before you get there. And then obviously this floor ceiling level right here, we have the floor, we have the ceiling. This is at 21.1. So if we kind of went through 20 cents, you go long at 20 cents. We got about a 5.92% target, number one. And then you go from there. So a little Algorand overview. Definitely set those alarms, react to those alarms, guys. I don't know how else to trade crypto than to set alarms, because J-Chains, do you have time to stare at charts all day?
No, nobody does. Unless you are one of the select few that does actually sit there and look at your screen all day. Why would you not want to do the work? You're doing your homework, right? You're doing your research. You're drawing your lines. Just set your eyes. Make it easy on yourself.
Yes. People are like, why do you set so many alarms? I'm like, oh, I don't know, because I can't stare at charts all day.
And even if you are, maybe you're happen to be looking at the Bitcoin chart when this algo thing does what you were been setting up and wanting to do. You can't look at every chart all the time. This helps you balance and multitask and do other things and touch grass and have a normal life.
Exactly. And what I want to say is that setting the alarm is important, yes, but understanding where the chart is, and when you see oh, my alarm went off, and I look at my phone and I see that alarm, to understand what's happening and how to react to it. Like, if I never set that 16-cent alarm and I just dilly-dally through my life, I wouldn't have made the money I made. But that alarm went off and I knew what to do and I reacted to it.
It brings your attention back.
Exactly. So you have to understand the situation you're in. Like this Algorand chart right here. We know the situation we're in. And we know that, okay, if we hit this, we probably can keep going low a little bit, or we could be patient to buy. And if we hit this and clear the 50 EMA, hey, we might be able to catch a little run up until this trend line. And even if we got rejected from this trend line, from here to here is still a 25% move. Algorand can move 25% and still not get past this high here, because this high, breaking this high, would be a change of direction. And if we change direction, good, keep going. You know what I mean? So you gotta understand why these alarms are the Bible. Mm-hmm. The Bible. Why would you not set them for trading? I mean, it's the only way to do it. It really is. Someone said something about I'm gonna do a different Bitcoin, a cup and handle on the weekly.
Where on Bitcoin?
On Bitcoin.
Oh, I see. From Lee.
Yeah, I don't need this XCN. How is XCN doing?
Hey, it's up today.
It's still in the downtrend, but it is fighting. It is fighting. Yeah, I mean, it needs to clear, I'd say, 0.17.
Is there any kind of statistic to see, like when you see a chart like this where it is down below the 50, like what the odds are of it coming back at least close to it if you want? And you call those pressure trades, right?
Well, yeah. Underneath it, yeah. So this would have been an example of like the distance from here to here.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're looking at a chart and you're like, oh man, the 50 EMA is 63% above the price, and you're seeing hammer candles on the 2-hour like that, like, you know, on smaller time frames, and you think, oh, I could probably like get from here to here, you know, that's kind of, but you know, so it's very important to say that a big point of my Telegram group, and I saw even someone in the chat said that they just joined the group yesterday. I think his name was Joe. Joe, thanks for joining the Telegram group. A big strategy in my group is to swim with the direction of the trend.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're in an uptrend, we're not really trying to go short, and we're trying to, once we get above that 50 EMA, because as a chart stays bullish continuation, it'll bounce and continue above that 50 EMA. All right. So we want to kind of catch those situations and run with the direction of chart. Anytime you try to swim against the current, like this here, you're in a confirmed downtrend and you're trying to go long. This is not what we do generally in my group. Generally in my group, if looking at this chart, we go short right here. Sure, we didn't get the top, we didn't get all this, but we're in a confirmed downtrend, and we just got under, on the 12-hour chart, we got under the 50 EMA. And from that point, 53% down the hill. That seems like a pretty good trade to me. It's not about getting the entire move. It's about making your money in the middle concise.
Can you set an alarm? And this is obviously, I can check it myself in case you know. Can you set an alarm that would trigger, like if you touch the 50, that would be an alarm?
I think you can. I generally haven't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because generally I'll choose, like, so I'll look at, this is what I'll do.
Mm-hmm.
I will understand the macro of a chart, like the right here. I understand, okay, we're in, you know, this confirmed downtrend, lower highs, lower lows. I know where we are. All right. And then I'll zoom in to say the 23-minute, knowing the larger time frame picture.
Right.
All right. And then, oops, let me get rid of that. And then what I'll do is that, okay, I know we're in this confirmed downtrend, but at the same time, you know, there is still the local fight that we always have. And obviously, you know, this is big support resistance right here. And that's also kind of in like strided with the level. And then, you know, this is big support resistance right here. And that would have probably been a really big one if I was to trade this, because, you know, we got this rejection here. And the right here is the magic point in the chart, because right here we get above the 50. We get above the support resistance level, and we're shifting from red to green on Market Cipher. And then, so when that alarm goes off, I'll see, oh shit, we just cleared the 50.
Time to go.
So that's why when I say, and if an alarm ever goes off, the first question you ask yourself is, where's the 50 EMA? I want you all to write in very large letters. I want you to find a notepad. I want you to go to print it out, make a sign, make a painting, and I want you to draw in very large letters. The 50 EMA is my best friend. It's my best friend. Best friends. We're real. We you know, I came to my birthday party last year. It was really, really good time. We had a great time. And it's your best friend. James, like we're pretty close.
But you're closer to the 50.
But you know, the 50, bro. Okay. But what was the chart? Oh yeah, if someone wants to see Bitcoin weekly. That's right.
Is this because it was a cup and handle on it, right?
I think I remember talking about this. Oh, not this one. I see I have just too many. All right, that I can deal with. Okay, they are saying like, oops. They're saying like cup like that. The problem is that it's pretty it's pretty crooked. Let me get rid of all this confusion here. I got a lot of like little random level. It makes sense when you're zoomed in, but when you like do like little local things and then zoom out, it's like, what the hell just happened to that chart?
Those lines don't even line up.
Click delete. I swear it makes sense, guys. Trust me, it makes sense. I know it does.
You can right click and do erase them all.
No way. I don't believe you. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, cup. I mean, if you're saying that, is that the handle right here, and then this, you know, kind of like crooked neckline like that. I mean, in that case, if that's what you're saying, Bitcoin really needs to stay above 73.96. So if Bitcoin goes into 73.8, that would be Bitcoin losing, like we talked about earlier in the show, these previous March levels. That is a big deal for Bitcoin to hold that level. And if that was, so let's say, I believe we've talked about this on the show before when that was happening. I remember drawing this. It's on one of the charts somewhere. If that was to happen, that would take Bitcoin.
I know we all want
353. Yeah, of course we all want that to happen.
We want that.
And also, guys, like, I mean, let's appreciate locally, you know, Bitcoin still in that uptrend, like that uptrend. And then if we appreciate, you know, even,
isn't it just so crazy? When in doubt, just zoom it out.
You know, we're still in this uptrend. You know, it's pretty obvious.
And that's since 2014, right?
Yeah, that's since the bottom in August. Yeah, February 2015.
15.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, guys, like that's the story, you know. And so I would say that the biggest alarm in crypto is on Bitcoin. Let me zoom in on the daily to get the exact level for you guys. The biggest level in crypto for sure. Where is it? It's right there. I would say 73,986.
And so the importance of this level is if we lose it, expect a little bit more of an extended local bear market, right?
Yes, because
technically we are in a bear market because we're 20 cents below.
You know what it does? It puts us back into almost the range of the flag.
Oh,
that's the flag we had
right
here. And then really the time in between the flag didn't take long. We always knew once the flag, and I said this last year 100 times, once the flag breaks, we're going. All right. The problem is that there's pretty heavy support resistance down here around 52.5. All right. From this like kind of rejection and then bop.
Mm-hmm.
So also, so you so keep that in mind, right? and now literally go from, pull a fib level. What am I doing? One in a second. Pull a fib level from, I'll get rid of these uptrends. I kind of made my point with those. From the bear market low to here. Okay.
We're still doing pretty good.
So losing, and it's no surprise that this 73,800 some level is aligned with the 382, like perfectly. All right. So the fact that we came down here, we lost the 236. If we lose this, we lose the 382. We probably do get that death cross. And then the point, and then we are confirmed downtrend, because that will have broken that uptrend that we just talked about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then we're talking 52. Then we're talking 62. Then we're talking 51. Then we're talking 35.
Dude, now you're speaking my language, because remember we talked about this yesterday morning. If you pull the 6-month chart on Bitcoin, and you look at this last several times where we've had some decent corrections, 2 times ago was 75%. The last time was 65%. So say we do a diminishing kind of letdown on all this and go 55%. That takes us into, like, I think the 40s.
I don't want to see that.
I don't either. I feel like, we're talking worst case scenarios here, though.
Right here, we lost 34%, 34.2%. in 150 days. That was here to here. And we bottomed, August 2024, right? So we lose 34% from this top. That basically puts us at this support resistance level. It literally puts us right. Oh my God. Come on, Mr. Brush. It puts us right here. That would be the same dip we had here, from here to here. And we can, if we can do this.
That's easy.
We can do this. We lose that level. I'm telling you, the biggest alarm in crypto, 73,966, right around there somewhere. We go into the 73.8s, 73.7s, bad news bears. So if you've learned anything from this show, that's the alarm of the day. You guys rock. It's been a great show. We'll be back tomorrow. We are not doing a normal live stream Friday. We're only doing a members only Friday. I'm not exactly sure what time. I will let you guys know in the Telegram group, of course. Has been, I definitely got some bullish news. We got good CPI. We got good macro. I'm telling you, Q3, Q4, that will be our time. In the meantime, target those weak altcoins. Find those altcoins like Algorand that are 150% just back to their December high. Those are the things you're targeting. Those are the coins that, we're going to get back to that December high and build from there. But right now, we literally have the opportunity of a lifetime to be buying at these levels. It's March 2025. We've known forever that Q3, Q4 this year is the run. We got Donald Trump in the White House passing pro-crypto regulation. Gary's gone. The SEC, we're literally about to pass all these other ETFs. All these financial regulatory licenses are getting passed in other countries. Everyone's positioning himself. This is the time, guys. Mm-hmm. If you're not buying at these levels, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Here's the deal. We did hear from some people in the chat, and we know that it's not just people specific to this chat. They're out of dry powder. Guys, it's spring. You know what you can do? Go to your basement, go to your garage, go to the attic, go find stuff around your house that you don't use anymore that has value that you can sell. And guess what? Boom! You made dry powder.
Yeah, dude.
With stuff you're not using.
I did so many random writing side gigs, bro.
Pick up a side hustle. Dude, this is the time.
So many. I would literally work, 7-8 hours at Hit Network and come home and keep writing and keep working. And I worked on Saturdays. I worked on Sundays. I didn't take a day off for like a year.
This is the time. You got to grind and hustle, man.
I have worked insane hours.
But look, you worked insane hours, and the story that you told in the beginning of the show, right? You did it. You made it. You put that effort in. You worked your balls off, and it paid dividends. It's funny how hardworking people are so lucky, man.
Funny, dude. Funny. It's not luck. You make your own.
No
luck.
Shit. Good job.
There are people that have results, and then there are people that have a story. And try harder. I think that's the common denominator. You know, hard work and preparation beats talent. I believe that. I believe that deep down. It's possible, guys. Sell some organs for some Ando if you have to. I don't give a shit. Who needs 2 kidneys, right? You don't need 2 kidneys.
You can at least go donate some blood.
Wait, so hold on. You guys are above giving your eyeballs away. I mean, you don't need 2 eyeballs, guys. Like,
dude, once you sell them for the profits and buy the Ando, you're good. You don't need to look at the charts ever again.
Yeah,
you're good.
Yeah, I mean,
don't do that. That's terrible.
Livers, don't need it.
Horrible financial advice right here.
Gallbladder, not sure what that's for. Brain, I mean, most people only have half of one anyway.
Just donate the other half.
Yeah, just penises. Why not? Just cut it off. Okay. All right, do what you got to do is my point, man.
Make that cheddar, baby.
Yeah, do what you got to do. But you guys are awesome. I really am so proud of this community, dude. I have seen people, dude, join my group and have questions and be kind of unsure, and then I've seen people throw their hands in the air and say, "Okay, I'm gonna try it your way. I'm gonna try it your way. My way's not working. I'm gonna try it your way." And those same people, I've got countless DMs, countless messages. Dude, I just paid my mortgage off. Dude, I just got a new car. Dude, I'm just got an engagement ring for my wife. Dude, I'm able to, to not worry about my rent anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I am talking directly to the people watching the show who are yet to have truly grabbed crypto by the horns. If you have not completely said, you know what, I'm fucking doing this, let's go. If you are about to make that decision, you have found the right channel. You have found the right people. Jay Chains and I have done this before. Mm-hmm. We have done this before. We have been around the block, maybe because we were too drunk to find the house, but we've been around the block. And what I'm saying specifically is that, guys, I know what it's like to have nothing. I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to deal with depression and all of these problems. And what I'm telling you is that not only I think people can become better traders, but most importantly, I think people can become better traders by becoming better people. So the advice that I give is obviously heavy confluence, heavy charts, heavy alarms, heavy TA, everything else. But it's also make sober decisions, live your life with honor and integrity. Be a man. Don't try to cheat. Don't take the shortcuts. Make the hard decision. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Put yourself outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Be uncomfortable.
I was watching a season 3 episode of Sons of Anarchy last night.
Nice.
And Clay told Jack, he said something along the lines of, Abel is either dead and you're going to get revenge, or he's alive and you would kill to find them. And if you're not in that place, you better get on your knees and pray that something gets you there. And when he said that, my entire body ran with goosebumps, because it's kind of about, his son got abducted and all this stuff, but it's kind of about, you're at a crossroad in your life and you got to make a decision to get yourself to the point where you will literally go to any length at all to make it happen. Mm-hmm. You need to surrender. You need to get on your knees and pray that until you get there. That's what it takes, guys. If you are not willing to go all in, you're fucking wasting your time.
Facts.
You're wasting your fucking time. I believe that anything is possible as long as you give up, as long as you surrender. Losing all hope is freedom. Get rich or get wrecked. See you guys tomorrow. Smash the likes.